guys, it's Loves to Loom here. Today I will be showing you how to create my new bow knots bracelet. This bracelet is a variation off of my Braided Knots bracelet that I recently posted a tutorial on. You will notice that the layout is very similar, but the bracelet looks completely different. But this bracelet, I really like it. It's just pretty dainty and small. It doesn't have a whole lot to it, and it's pretty easy in my opinion, but yet it's cute and just like little, and I don't know. I just really like it. It's different compared to my other designs, so hopefully you guys like it as well. To make this bracelet, it takes about 80 to 90 bands depending on your wrist size, and let's go ahead and get started. To make this bracelet, you need one loom, one C-clip, and your hook. We will be working with 7 pins, which will be these ones in a circle here, including the middle one. I will be using white and then dark blue, light blue, teal, and turquoise today. So to start, we're going to be laying double bands going vertically on these pins here, and you want them double banded. So I'm going to start with my light blue, making sure you have double bands. We're just going to stretch them vertically forward. We're going to do the same thing on this pin here using the same color. And this is going to be the color of your bows that like stick out of the top. Now we're going to grab like the color that we do for the knot. So that crosses here, 2 of them. So you're going to grab one single band, stretch that over that set of bands, and then we're going to stretch one more like that. Always work from the left to the right. And now what we're going to do is bring the left side and cross it up to the right. And we're going to bring the bottom right and cross it up to the left. But you don't want to go over this pin. You want to go around it. So grab the 2 bottom left bands. Take it off of the pin and then stretch it up. You can act like you're going to bring it forward. But once you get up here, just bring it to the right. And place those back on that pin there. Doing the same for the left side, or the bottom right side. Grabbing those 2 bands, bringing it up, and stretching to the left. Just like that. Now, going forward, there will be one more step, but since we have only these bands on here for now, we're going to go inside these pins and loop back to the middle. Meaning, starting on the left side, we're going to go inside these 2 bands here, grabbing the 2 bottom bands, taking them off of the pin, and placing them on the middle. We're going to do the same on the right side. So you want to move the 2 top bands out of the way with your hook, making sure you're inside the pin. Grab the 2 bottom bands, remove them, and bring them to the middle. Like so. So you have 2 white bands under the middle bands we just looped. So you're going to bring those 2 bottom bands up and over. Just like that. Now we need to bring our outside bands into the middle as well. Doesn't really matter which side you do first. I would just stay consistent with whatever way you decide. So bring them both into the middle. And once again, we have to loop the bottom bands up and over. So there are 4 bands, so it may be a little hard. But grab all 4 of them. Make sure you don't get that white one. My hook is stuck. And bring them up and over. You can use your finger to hold the back because you don't want those white bands to slip off. Just like that. It creates a little knot there. Push that down. Now, we do not loop these 2 top bands. That's what our bow is these 2 top bands. So we usually do take them off as the bracelet grows, but we're going to leave this first layer on so it doesn't like move all around and get lost. So just ignore that there, and let's go ahead and do our next layer. So move on to your second color, 2 bands, laying them vertical. Grab 2 more bands and lay it on the right side, the same way. Grab your white bands or whatever bands you're using in the middle and lay 2. So 1 single band and 1 more. Now we're going to do the same thing again. So we need to cross the left up to the right. So grab both of those bands and bring it up to the right pin. Just make sure it doesn't do what just happened to mine, how they're all intertwined. Make sure the two that you're placing on the pin are on top. That is very important. So grab the right two bottom bands and stretch it up to the left and place it on the pin. So now that we have two layers here in the middle, there's a total of 4 bands. Before we bring the middles back here, we have to loop this. So grab the two bottom bands and loop them up. Push it down, and now we can loop these ones. So remember, ignore the blue ones all the way at the bottom. We don't want to mess with those. We just need to go inside the left side, inside these two bands, and grab the bottom two teal or turquoise. I always get the teal and turquoise confused. I'm not even sure which is which, to be honest. Go on the right pin, move the top two bands out of the way, and grab the bottom two. Like that. And now we need to loop up the bottom two whites on the middle pin. And now we're going to bring these two bands into the middle. Push it down some, because now we need to bring up the bottom 4 bands up and over. Like I did last time, I'm going to place my right finger here so I don't lose any of the bands. And this time I'm actually going to use the back of my hook to get inside there. It just makes it a little easier getting a hold of all 4 of those bands. And just carefully pull it up and over the pin like that. Push that down, and now we have 2 layers here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these from the pin. So just pop that off, pop that off, and now do the same thing with the blue. Now your bows may not be very big right now, but don't worry, because at the end, you can do it while you go, or you can do it now. At the end, I grab the 2 sides and you just pull, and it makes the bows bigger. So just let it kind of hang out there for now, and just make sure that they stay face up. You want to be able, your bows have to stay facing up. You don't want them down. Okay, so enough jibble jabble. Going on to the next color, grabbing my blue, 2 bands, laying them vertical. My single white, we're going to lay our horizontal and our horizontal again. Grabbing the 2 bottom left bands, we're going to cross it and bring it up to the right. And we're going to grab these 2 here and bring it up to the left. Loop the 2 bottom bands on your middle pin. And this is where I meant make sure they stay up, because when you loop they do twist. And now we need to go inside these 2 bands, grabbing your bottom 2 blue, bring it back to the middle. Do the same on the right side. Push the 2 top bands out of the way. Grab the bottom 2 and bring it back to the middle. Loop up your bottom 2 bands. And now bring the right side into the middle and the left into the middle. Once again, we have to loop all 4 of the bottom bands up. Make sure you have all 4 of them. Carefully bring it up and over. Like that. So you can you can pop the bow off each time going forward now. So if you want to remove those two blue, but I do it every 2 times. I feel like it's easier. So I'm just going to push it down and act like that blue's not there. And I'm going to lay my next set of colors. So I'm grabbing 2 bands. And 2 more bands. And now I'm going to lay my 2 horizontals, which are single banded. And now we're going to cross, going up to the right and up to the left. Loop your bottom 2 middle bands up and over. And now we have to cross back, so we're going inside, grabbing those 2 teal. And do the same on the right side. Just always make sure you're going inside and not on the outside. Excuse me. And bring up the 2 bottom bands, like so. And now bring in your middle, or bring your end or outside bands into the middle. And now we're going to bring all 4 of these up. If you have no problem doing it just like regular, grabbing them like this, you can do it that way. Whatever's easier, as long as you get them all up and over eventually. So now I have 2 layers, so I'm going to go ahead and pop them off. You can even give it a pull like that before you pop it off. It definitely helps with the bow. If you stretch it out a little bit. So it feels very loose, and it may even curl up. Don't worry about that, because it does curl up when it's not on your wrist, but it wears nicely once you have it on. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to continue laying it. I feel like it is really easy once you do it a couple of times. I've made a bunch of them. It's all about just getting down the pattern. Okay, so I think I've done it plenty of times for you guys to catch on to it, and as you can see, the bows are forming. So this bracelet is so easy to close. Literally, there's nothing to do. After you do the last hooking step, you're left with only 2 bands on the pin, and that's where you're going to attach your C-clip. So you just pop it right onto there, and then my bracelet's not long enough, but I'll show you. So just put your hook down in there on your 2 bands, grab your C-clip, pop it on there, and take it off. Stretch out your bracelet, and then like I said, it does curl up. Make sure that when you go to hook it, make sure you're hooking it with it being straight. Like, you don't want to like twist it, because then it won't lay right. So for example, all my bows are facing down. I have my hook come onto this side, and on the back side here, there's that horizontal band there. That's where I hook my hook onto, or my clip. So just grab your hook to stretch that out a little bit, and hook it in. So to fix the bows, like I already kind of told you, you just grab onto both of them and just pull. Like, you don't need to pull like super tight, but just give it a little tug, and that will help just kind of stretch them out a little bit. Sometimes they do get a little bit intertwined. Let's see if I have one. So like this one here, my blue is like hanging out, so all you need to do is just push it in back of the other one. So it's so super easy, and I would put it on, but it's not like big enough. But I will put on my other one so you can kind of just see what it looks like on. So there you have it. So I think it's so easy, it lays good, and of course my focus never works. But I just like it. I just think it's different, and I think it's cute. So hopefully you guys like it as well. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. It is so fast to make, which is one reason I super love it. But please tag me at Loves to Loom. I really love seeing your guys' creations when you make it. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button below. And I guess I will see you all at my next video. Thanks, guys.